From the city of Ibadan, the home of ancient warlords, in the Payseta state, this is Oluyole FM 98.5 Ibadan.
It's 6:30 and you're still on to Oluyole 98.5 FM. It's time to bring you a conversation with Dayo and Tola.
Conversation with Dayo and Tola. Conversation with Dayo and Tola.
All right, a beautiful Monday morning to you from wherever you're listening across the world. This is Oluyole 98.5 FM, and it's time for the conversation with Dayo and Tola. I am Odla Dayo Ogunbowale.
I'm Tola Teriba.
All right, it's the 4th day of the 5th month. It's one of my siblings' birthday today. Okay, well, they actually share birthdays, one on the 4th, another one on the 5th, So, well, let me just wish the person, happy birthday. My sister, today's birthday, wherever she is, happy birthday to you. You know yourself. You're in your husband's house. Olua told me happy birthday to you. All right, so we go straight. This is how we do it, though, in case you're just joining us. Monday to Saturday, 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. Of course, still under COVID month, whether we like it or not. But we pray that by the end of this month, we will be out of this COVID wood. The COVID-19 wood. You're listening to us live on the radio network of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, live in the studios of Oluyole 98.5 FM, also broadcasting from Agility 92.1 FM, Okiogun 96.3 FM, and of course, for those who like to join us from across the world via social media platforms, we are live on Facebook, facebook.com/Oluyole 98.5 FM, Twitter at Oluyole FM, Instagram at Oluyole 98.5 FM. We're also on Radio Garden, and of course mixler.com/Oluyole FM. So get ready, we are ready for you. This is how we do it. And of course, I have a copy of the Punch newspaper,
and I have a copy of the Nigerian Tribune.
Okay, 4th of May 2020, major headline: 80% of Kano coronavirus samples positive. Buhari's panel, that's the presidential task force, saying 80% of Kano coronavirus samples test positive. Most of the strange deaths in Kano was actually caused by COVID-19. So it's not a spirit that had been killing them. Most of the strange deaths was caused by COVID-19, says Kwazo. Lagos draws timetable for workers' resumption, food markets, others.
It's a grim confirmation there.
It is.
And this also says 50 Almajiris from Kano brought to Kaduna tested positive. That's coming from Governor El Rufai of Kaduna State. And as banner headline of the Nigerian Tribune this morning, as banks, government offices, public transport to resume today in Lagos, rolls out 30 new guidelines. Nigerians worry over resumption. Sanwo-Olu imposes to curfew. 50, we've taken that, and National Assembly shot as lawmaker dies. And you've taken that, most carried deaths linked to coronavirus at PTF committee. Pages 2, 3, and 30 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
I mean, such a time, very not too good times in Kano these days. I mean, so much death. I mean, over 600, and now you're saying a good portion coronavirus. I think community spread right there.
It seems like the government of Kano State actually took these things for granted. I don't know if it's politics. I don't know if it's pressure
it's so unfortunate
from religious leaders. I wonder what actually went wrong in Kano regarding the management of COVID-19, the handling and the management.
I hope they do the right thing on time before they lose more souls. I mean, you can imagine emirs even, dying across the country, across the north. It's no longer funny. Ocean illegal mining, 17 Chinese. Monarch, others face prosecution. Details on page 6 of the Punch newspaper.
And I see here the politicians seem to be getting some touch of confidence, a burst of confidence, I would say, even in the midst of COVID-19. And maybe that reinforces the belief that this thing will soon be over. Although 2020, aggrieved aspirants want Aregbesola to intervene. That's on page 27 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
Sounds nice. And we have 23 National Assembly members quarantined as member dies. I think you took that story earlier. Fayemi names Amotekun board members complaint board chair. Details of that on page 8 and 9 of the Punch newspaper.
And also some good news here. Akeogbago's twins regain freedom from kidnappers. On page 28 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
Okay, and we have JAMB remits 7 billion naira to federal government for 2020 UTM. This paratata remains revenue generate.
And the gold, so to say, was there all the while. There was gold to be mined at JAMB all the while.
The previous DG now is facing the music with the FCC. The person who was there before, Professor Oluyole, he has to explain a lot of properties that got seized by the FCC, which means some money had actually been entering that place. The days when we used to try JAMB, I think I wrote it like 3 times. They would tell us you are using your money to plant flower. How many of you are in that league? Raise your hand. Those that used to collect it.
Isha Kolode is the current boss.
Yes, I mean the person before Isha Kolode.
Professor Ojerinde.
Yes, Dibu Ojerinde, Professor Dibu Ojerinde. So he's actually facing the music currently with the FCC, having to explain some properties and all that. Did you acquire this? But yeah, thank God for Professor Isha Kolode and all that. But some will still tell you that you shouldn't be using that money. I mean, why not reduce the amount of money these guys pay? Education should not be a revenue generation, at least not such an exam, It's just a public opinion out there, but we hope they look into it. I mean, why not reduce how much the average candidates actually pay?
The problem with that sometimes is that if you make the cost too low as regards education, that the students would end up taking things for granted. That recall a time, here in Oyo State, for example, where to sit for, I think was it WAEC or NECO was absolutely free, and truly at that time the students became rather unserious. A majority of them they took it for granted that actually I will take the exam. If I fail, I will take it again and again and again, until the government now said I think it was the government of Governor Alawakala that said we'll pay for your NECO just once. Once you don't pass, you'll have to pay if you want to do it again.
Better. I think that sounds nice, because to say that because it's cheaper or because it's free will make people unserious. I will have tried it. A lot of people are, most of the professors today, in fact, the learned folks above 60 years today went to school. Some would never have seen the 4 walls of an ivory tower or whatever, if not for the free education.
But don't forget, value systems were quite different in those days.
We should start teaching values again. Because education is a leveler. The moment you give people access to it, it can make the son of a pauper sit with the kings. But if you deny them education, what we see in the north mostly is what we'll be talking about. That lacuna we keep widening every day, because one, they are poor. Now they are not even educated. So give them the opportunity. If they like, let them mess it up. But at least it will be said of whichever government was in power that we gave them the opportunity. And that's why I think I like the Ankala, era that you mentioned. That we will pay once. If you fail, you're on your own. The subsequent ones you will register for, you will have to pay. I think that's better. So yes, education should not be that expensive as it were. tertiary education, well, we might have a discussion on that another day. But basic education, and of course exams like UTME, which is the joint one, university, tertiary matriculation is joint. If that opportunity will be granted to more people, you'd be surprised there will be a lot of brilliant students whose parents will just not be able to afford that fund. So yes, I think it should be looked into, rather than using it to now generate 7 billion and then begin to read the figures. Good one to Professor Oluyole. I'm not in any way trying to downplay whatever he's doing, but I mean, can we use the opportunity to give space or give room for the less privileged who probably would not have been able to afford it now to be able to afford it by bringing the price low? I'm not saying it should be free. I do not support it should be free, but I think the prices, the cost of obtaining that form or sitting for that exam can be reduced and should be reduced anyway.
Be able to afford it.
Exactly. Well, CBN prevails on banks not to sack workers. Congratulations to our bank friends. I mean, let's not mention one bank, that was sacking and was in the news. People are started fidgeting. What will happen now? Families are, we're not the banker family. Only for the banker to start saying they've given us letter.
But when we read the story, we'll know what the CBN is offering these banks to actually
to not sack workers. That it just reminds me of the FRS boss who came out and saying banks and telecommunication companies are making money. These guys are suffering. It's obvious. They've
had to close down
branches. Exactly. I was one of those who asked the FRS boss, where did you get your data? There's global meltdown. There's no sector that is free. It's affecting everybody. They mentioned one telecommunication. I said, okay. Now, people are buying credit. Do you know the value of the naira before we went into COVID-19 recession? What's the value now?
They haven't been asked to give people free credit and all that.
And a good number of them are already bowing to pressure anyway, whether they like it or not. I can count like 1, 2, 3, about 3 now of those telecom networks that some state governments have forced them. You have free data. I know one is giving your state free data. There's one. Let's not mention their name or do advert for them. That whether they like it or not, they are giving free data to students across the states here in your state. A particular telecoms company. Is that one? Where will the profit come from?
And so definitely someone or something has to pay for that.
Definitely. So I think the best government can do is give these guys tax holiday. Look for ways to support them, not claiming that they should come and pay tax ahead of time, like our FRS boss is saying. Well, so CBN prevails on banks not to sack workers. Details on page 25 of the Punch newspaper. If time permits, we'll take that story.
Buhari mourns murdered Uniport students, directs more intense police action. That's on page 26 of the Nigerian Tribune.
Action in the right way, not, Well, okay. Sacked employees to get monthly salaries for insured jobs. Insurers says that. So if your job is insured, well, they said sacked employees will get monthly salaries for jobs that are insured. That's the insurers now. So on page 28.
Jobs that are insured.
The ones that are insured, they will get salaries. It happens in very good countries anyway, so I would be glad if it can happen here in Nigeria. Provided the jobs are insured.
Well, a country that still finds it very difficult to give the benefits of legitimate pensioners to them. So I wonder. Well,
Tala, don't go there. let's take more stories.
All right. Well, I think a grandma from Ilona would be pleased to hear this. Fayemi appoints Ekiti and Moteco board members.
Nice.
Grandma has always been reminding us about Amoteco, that we should not just
so we need them, in fact, more than ever, especially in times like this. So that's a good one. That's a very, very good one. Cut interest rates to boost economy, says Tinubu. Page 24 of the Punch newspaper. Right now, we should have got things like that. So, yes, very welcome advice from the former governor of Lagos State right there. Cut interest rates to boost economy, says Tinubu. Page 24 of the Punch newspaper.
And some writers to that story, well, Tinubu also says Naira is overvalued.
It is. It is.
He wants current bank debtors to benefit bank special schemes. Knocks foreign borrowing. Amongst foreign borrowing apex. That's some advice coming from.
He's saying Naira is overvalued. He's been devalued stylishly already. It's already selling officially at about 450. Black market 480. In fact, if you buy some things from some country, they deduct 500 naira. You know, in the exchange rate. So when you just see the alert, you wonder how much did I pay for this thing? You know, if you are paying for maybe for those who are doing certifications online and all that, you have to pay in dollars. When you see the amount they remove from your account, you try to calculate at 490 something. So it's already being devalued by CBN. They are just not talking about it.
And I think early in the Buhari administration, the IMF actually told us that this was the way to go. And what the federal government said.
That's the underside of all this foreign borrowing. They'll be giving you conditions. Where is their money anyway? I can't blame them. You know, part of the conditions, okay, you have to devalue this thing, spoiling our economy. Seriously spoiling our economy. I hope we learn, you know, all this borrow. Well, we can do better.
The most important thing is love of country. If we sincerely love our country, not just the leaders now, all of us, I think these things would actually work.
I totally agree. You know, so we utilize the money judiciously. And
I think, the IMF, in all truthfulness, we may want to accuse them of wanting to actually have a stranglehold on the Nigerian economy, and by pushing all sorts of suggestions to us. Now, these are actually workable suggestions, but I think they actually do it with the thinking that, okay, they are cuckoo corrupt. Let's tell them we know they won't do it well.
You know, somebody, I mean, just to support what you just said, someone said, have you ever seen all these guys, when they want to put vice president in charge of Africa, they will bring an African, somebody who knows you. You know, the Okonjo Wealas, the Obiese Kwesilis. They know how they appoint them to come and handle things around here, you know, because they know you will understand your people. You know? So, you know, imagine they helped us, you know, cancel some debts. The same set of people helped us get more debt back. It just tells you something, you know. But you know, it would be very unfortunate if anybody is blaming IMF or World Bank. Yeah, these guys are a big business now. You know, the Paris Club, yeah, they are doing business. They will make profits.
And they have like I said, they have this feeling that that our governments are so predictable.
They will soon bring back the money through the backyard now. We know them. They come and create account here now. So give them. They will soon bring it back. You know, it's so unfortunate. I hope we can do better as a nation on things like this. 17th birthday, Leah Sharibu's parents accuse FG of deceiving Nigerians. Page 8 of the Punch newspaper here. Picture of Leah Sharibu right there. She celebrates her 17th birthday in captivity. 17th birthday, Leah Sharibu's parents accuse FG of deceiving Nigerians.
You know, I would so much love to see a video of that girl, at least to convince Nigerians that I'm not being pessimistic. I very much hope and pray that she is still alive.
Well, the last time we heard anything about her was that she gave birth to a boy. I hope that's still the truth. I hope it's really her. But I can just imagine what she will be going through where she is. One can only imagine. You know, being the only one, you know, amongst her friends, still in captivity. It's as if she's forgotten there. It's as though they no longer remember. But I can assure you, if everybody forgets, not like our parents. That's why they are saying, FG, you are not telling us something. It's like you are deceiving us. That's what they are saying right there. Well, we pray she is returned safely, like the Akeugbago twins. I'm so happy. So happy.
Yeah, that's very good news. Yeah.
We thank God that they are back.
So it's a pity we found ourselves at these crossroads in this country. These things keep happening. Baba Akeugbago refused to actually say whether he paid ransom or not.
This juncture, the good thing is the kids are back.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Like Obiese Kwesi said, the kids are back, full stop. You know what I mean?
Honestly, it's just a pity that we find ourselves at this crossroads, like I said.
So unfortunate.
And it goes on and on. COVID-19, FMC Abeokuta confirms death of pregnant woman.
Yeah,
that's another sad.
So unfortunate there. So unfortunate story right there. Well, I think I already took this story about Chinese miners mining illegally, but then because the picture speak is right here. Let's just give the COVID update for today. COVID-19 update in Nigeria and globally. Confirmed cases in Nigeria stands at 2,558 as at when this newspaper was published. Discharged stands at 400. That means 400 people have been discharged. It's not bad news altogether. So out of the 2,558 cases, 400 have been discharged. 87 deaths recorded, and breakdown in according to states. Lagos has the highest, 1,107 confirmed cases in Lagos alone. FCT has 278. Kano has 342. Kano is already ahead of FCT. 342 cases. Osun has 36. Oyo State, where we have 34 confirmed cases. Edo State has 52. Ogun has 80. Kwara 16. Katsina 46. Bauchi has 71. Kaduna has 81 cases. Akwa Ibom 16. Delta 17. Ekiti 11. Ondo 13, Enugu 8, Rivers 14, Niger 3, Benue and Anambra 1 apiece. Borno State has 82 cases. That's one state where the NCDC boss, I was listening to him yesterday, was saying that most likely community transmission is already ongoing in Borno State too. We pray it ends. Plateau 3, Bayelsa 5 cases. Kebbi 12, Zamfara 12, Yobe 13, Abia 2, Gombe, another place to watch out for with 96 cases. Sokoto with 66, Adamawa 6, Taraba 8, Ebonyi 5, Imo 2, Nasarawa 12. On the global scale, confirmed cases worldwide currently stands at 3,561,887. Death toll globally stands at 248,084. We pray that God will help us kick out COVID-19 from the faces of the earth. By the end of May, we really hope so. But please, as we are saying this, do your part. NCDC, we say take responsibility. Maintain physical distancing. Wash your hands, maintain personal hygiene, cover your nose. Much more importantly, if you don't have anywhere you are going, bros, stay at home. Auntie, mommy, stay at home. That's the best.
Actually, I don't know where this renewed wind of hope is coming from. A lot of people actually seem to believe that by the end of this month that COVID-19 will be over. I mean, even people in positions of authority, their body language, ordinary Nigerians.
Hope make it not ashamed. What else will we have if we don't have hope now? I mean, I was listening to the SCDC boss last night. I mean, it was all shades of hope, and hope and hope. That's the only thing to do in a time like this. I mean, hope. It makes not ashamed. Let's have hope that things will be better. And
political activities seem to be picking up again.
Elections are
coming. As a result of that hope.
I don't need to look at that headline. No, see that Ondo or Edo. I'm very sure. Oh, yeah, read the headline.
Yeah, Ondo 2020. Yeah, it's started by Ondo Edo. Tinubu's neutrality weakens anti-Akeredolu groups. And I give Aspirants found pressure on Aregbesola to enlist APC national leaders backing. Now, Ekiti PDP polarized as Fayose Olujimi groups inaugurate parallel ward executives. This Fayose and Olujimi issue, it's been on for a long time. I wonder if they will ever close banks. And there's also this story here. We're coming from Oyo State. Makide's think tank controversy. Keep your check. Oyelade replies Akintola. Maybe we'll get to read that story.
Yeah, we will.
What that's all about.
Somebody wants to give money like IMF, give you money and give you condition. We can do better than that. I think we'll take some sports stories before we take some major. Okay, on the 30th page 30 of the Punch newspaper, CAF celebrates AFCON legends Keshi El Gohari. It's right there on page 30 of the Punch newspaper. CAF celebrates AFCON legends Keshi El Gohari. And we have Ikeme auctions Eagles jersey to help motherless babies. Also on page 30 of the Punch newspaper. And former Man U star Evra, I once begged for money. Yeah. Thank God we don't look like what we have been through. Fury, Joshua fight will happen. Okay, calm down. Farabale. It will happen. Yeah, we know it will happen. And PSG offer £45 million for Ndidi. Okay. If he's interested, I'm not sure he wants to leave the Premiership. But let's see. We're talking money here. PSG offer £45 million for Wilfred Ndidi, the Nigerian midfielder, and Leicester City midfielder right there. PSG offer £45 million for Ndidi. Okoye, I always wanted Nigeria ahead of Germany. Oh, that's our goalkeeper. One of the African Oyimbos, the white guys in the Super Eagles, he said he will always prefer Nigeria ahead of Germany. That's good. Thank you for choosing your motherland. You are not Shafi Haisa. You are Okoye. Okoye is Nigerian. Even though you look like them. COVID-19, Brown Hill Foundation donates food, cash to worry communities. Okay, well, people trying to help out, in such tough times. A good one, and all that. I think that's about that from the sports angle and the Punch newspaper. All right, so let's take some couple of stories. Let's start with that one we wanted to. Is there anywhere close by? Perhaps particular.
Yes, it is. Makide's think tank controversy. Keep your check. Oyelade replies Akintola. Now, the executive chairman of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, BCOS, Prince Dotun Oyelade, has responded to the allegation by Chief Niyi Akintola that Governor Seyi Makinde does not have a think tank, a body of people that brainstorm for him. Oyelade, at an inter-wards meeting held in Ogbomoso over the weekend, asked Akintola to tell the world why he engaged in serial attacks and criticism of former Governor Abiola Ajimobi during and after his tenure as governor, even when he now claims to be a member of his think tank at the time. Oyelade said, more importantly, Chief Akintola will do the public a lot of good by telling us what also caused the rift between former Governor Ajimobi and Professor Ademola Oluyole, the head of the think tank, that led to them parting ways before the end of Ajimobi's tenure. According to Oyelade, it is incorrect to say that Makinde has no management team for COVID-19 just because he wisely chose to deploy proven medical professionals like a virologist, epidemiologists, and other experienced medical officers of long standing who are globally recognized to advise him on the pandemic. Now, Makinde does not have to select. He said it was absurd and uncharitable for Chief Akintola to have threatened not to release the financial palliative he wanted to give to the vulnerable in the state if Makinde does not constitute a management team on COVID-19. Akintola should hold on to his money. After all, kind-hearted people, including older Ibadan elders, have contributed generously without conditionalities. If Akintola wants Governor Makinde to replicate the think tank that advised the last government to engage in obvious anti-people policies, then he will be well advised to keep his checkbook in his chambers, Oyelade said. Makinde's think tank controversy, keep your check. Oyelade replies Akintola, page 27 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
I think the article is self-explicit. Giving money should not have conditions, if you ask me. I'm talking about the think tank. Well, I think that's a governor's prerogative. You can choose to or not to. But I think they were friends. I mean, if you ask me, Mr. Akintola and the governor. He even said they used to call him or something.
Yes. What I think is that, well, the Baba Akintola is a highly respected citizen of
very respected.
And well, I think if if we had any advice for the governor, maybe as regards the management of I'm talking about the issue of the check controversy now, him saying that he was not going to release his financial palliatives for COVID-19 unless a management team is constituted. I think this advice, he could have sent the governor one-on-one to actually tell him this, that, okay, this is rather than, because I learned he was actually on
a particular radio station where he said all this.
I said all this, and these are things that
it's becoming political, and people are already taking sides. You know, somebody's APC, somebody's PDP. I think you can do better than that. This pandemic requires all hands to be on deck. This is not a time to give conditions and say if you want to help and all that. Let's all come together to chase COVID-19 away first. We can then come back to do, okay, I am this, I am that. But for now, let's come together to chase this common enemy away.
And I think we've seen enough to know that this is a transparent government. The man at the helm of affairs in Oyo State now will not take nonsense from anyone, will not tolerate corruption in any form.
I know people who gave 15 naira. They're on the list of people who gave money. Everybody's name is there. It's not, if you give 1 naira, as long as it's entered the account, there's a list, and it's quite transparent enough. I know several people who are on that list. It does not matter how much you give, you will see your money there. So it's not shrouded. I think that's clear enough, if you ask me. 80% of Kano coronavirus samples positive. Buhari's panel. That's on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Because time check now is 7 a.m. I know our distinguished listeners will be waiting, and our feedback channel is already loaded. Facebook and Twitter. 80% of Kano coronavirus samples positive. Buhari's panel. The Nigerian Union of Allied Health Professionals on Sunday called on the President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, to reverse his decision on the easing of COVID-19 lockdown, which takes effect today, Monday. The NUAHP made the call in a statement signed by its national president, Dr. Obinna Ogbonna, and its general secretary, Martin Egbanubi, as health workers advised the president. Members of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 is sent to Kano State, expressed concern about the high rate of community transmission in the state. The presidential team said 80% of every 100 samples taken from the state for testing always came out positive. As of March, the state had no case of COVID-19, but on April 11, a former ambassador who attended the Juma service while awaiting his coronavirus test result was diagnosed with the virus. As of 5:51 p.m. on Sunday, there were 313 COVID-19 cases in the state, which was second only to Lagos State that had 1,084 cases, the highest in the country. Buhari had in his broadcast to the nation on April 27 imposed a total lockdown on Kano State and dispatched a team of experts to the state the following day as part of efforts to stop the spread of the virus. 80% of Kano coronavirus samples positive. Buhari's panel. You have another story there?
Oh, I have this one. I have discovered cure for COVID-19.
Let's go there.
Ondo Trado medical practitioner.
Interesting.
Now, a Trado medical practitioner, Dr. Oluyole, asked the federal and Ondo state governments to send more patients suffering from COVID-19 to him for treatment. Now, Olasumbo said he had discovered the cure for COVID-19 after rigorous research into the possible cure of the pandemic ravaging the globe. Now, speaking with journalists in Akure, the Ondo state capital, at the weekend, Olasumbo expressed confidence that the drug would treat all symptoms of COVID-19, but said he was currently awaiting the approval of the National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control in order for clinical trial of the drug to commence. I have discovered a cure for COVID-19, says Ondo Trado medical practitioner.
And for the purpose, Professor Morisi Wutu claims he has Madagascar as a drink.
You know why I took that story?
Oh, no, right? No, I think I can say that. Oh, that's the Ondo King.
Is it personally? I do have issues with the WHO handling of things like this. There was a write-up in the Tribune yesterday, and somebody was actually trying to analyze people coming out to say they found cures. It was particularly about the Madagascar issue, and to him, he said that. It's always the same old story. when we have pandemics, that is when we have pestilences, a global pestilence of this nature, WHO comes up and people come out to say, okay, they may have something that looks like a cure. WHO dismisses it with a wave of the hand. We go on and on and on, doing testing, doing clinical trial that never ends. At the end of the day, they come up with something, maybe a kind of drug that is able to actually help the sufferer of that particular disease to stay alive, like as in retroviral drugs.
Exactly, that will not eventually cure it.
And the disease remains that is no cure, but it can be managed, it can be controlled. It's always the same old story. And one of the reasons why I believe President Donald Trump was angry with WHO, he was actually saying that they could have done more.
Sure.
In terms of when it comes to coronavirus. So instead of just dismissing this, I'm not saying that this man is actually telling the truth or whatever.
But at least try it out. What do we stand to lose anyway?
And of course, there are records to indicate that these things actually worked in Madagascar. I mean, people coming out, to say that, and they said that, and they also said that their top medical practitioner there actually said that the drug can be used for prevention. That was the man's position. So I don't know. WHO, to me, it's always the same story.
Whether WHO or not, I know about 2 African countries that have gone to Madagascar to get the drugs. I even saw a picture. It said some boys have imported it into Nigeria. How they did that, I don't know. Somebody took a picture. I hope it's not fake. And you could see that bottle, with the label on it, Madagascar, COVID, whatever. I said, okay. I think if it's working, for God's sake.
Why not have a look at it?
Exactly.
Why not look at it? Just dismissing things.
We stand to lose nothing. Test it out and we'll be fine. Let me quickly take this story because I know it affects a lot of people. For every family that has a banker, they are waiting for this story. CBN prevails on banks not to sack workers. The Central Bank of Nigeria and the Bankers Committee have jointly agreed to suspend sacking of workers in the banks during the COVID-19 pandemic. A statement signed by the Director of Corporate Communications, Mr. Isaac Okorafor, said a special meeting of the Bankers Committee was convened on May 2nd, 2020 to further review the implications of the COVID-19 pandemic on the Nigerian banking industry. Stated that the committee particularly deliberated on the issue of the operating costs of banks in view of the disruptions emanating from the global economic difficulties and decided to take some decisions. Okorafor stated that in order to help minimize and mitigate the negative impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on families and livelihoods, no bank in Nigeria shall retrench or lay off any staff of any cadre, including full-time and part-time. Quoting him now, to give effect to the above measure, the express approval of the Central Bank of Nigeria shall be required in the event that it becomes absolutely necessary to lay off any such staffs. The Central Bank of Nigeria solicits the support of all in our collective efforts to weather through the economic challenges occasioned by the COVID-19. CBN prevails on banks not to sack workers. Details on page 25 of the Punch newspaper. So you've heard it. Banks should no longer sack. Somebody asked me already, people are already interacting with me on social media, that what of those that they have sacked already?
Oh, what about other people in the private sector, in the real sector of the economy? I think the CBN should also have a word for them. And whatever magic they are going to perform to prevail on the banks not to sack, they should extend that to those other sectors too.
Time check, 7:07 a.m. Destination time, 7:30 a.m. is the conversation with Dayo and Tola. You did not even allow me to read this phone line. You're already calling. Okay. Phone number to connect with the studio: 08055009858. Okay. 9850. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
This is Sandy from Oluyole.
Nice to have you.
Yes, sir. You're welcome. So, on the issue of Mia Taribo, I want to say the federal government to please take the action on the guy. Now, for example, I read that many of our students were arrested from Boko Haram or...
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
The federal government is planning. Hello?
We are with you.
Hello? So, the federal government is planning to release the... Or maybe they have already released them to repentance Boko Haram. why cannot them investigate them to tell them where they are being kept the girl? So if you come to that person, you even think of maybe when the girl is from one of their families. How do they do? So that's the reason why people are really suffering. And they have nothing to do. But those are being murdered by the Boko Haram among the soldiers. So the government take no action on those their wives or maybe their families. And the government is planning to help maybe to sponsor from the federal Boko Haram, which is not supposed to be. So now in Nigeria, people have maybe when they want to be sponsored by the federal government or when they need an help from the federal government.
Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your comment. The phone line still open. 08055009850. 08055009850. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir. Oh, nice to have you. Please go ahead.
Devil helps those who help themselves. Each year, if you give birth to children, you train them to be smart. Being in captivity today, I may sound very satanic, but let's face the reality. It is just because of timidity. That's why that girl is still there. If she had renounced Christianity as asked by the Boko Haram, I think could have been at home with those released that time. The parents now looking out to the government to free that girl. I think they are just building castles in there. All the girl believed before refusal to renounce Christianity, that is where they should beckon them to.
Well, with you, Mr. Ajanoku, please go ahead. Mr. Ajanoku, we really appreciate you. Thank you for your call. The phone line is still open. Let me jump to Facebook. I hope I can take every comment today. This place is loaded. Okay, here's another call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
You're on. Hello, sir. Nice to have you. Please go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
I want to just say something about the issue of timing evidence.
Okay.
They know what to take and the northern area, but that most of them doesn't back this time or whatever to take them. And you know the way their life, they always put together, talk together, eat together. It's better for federal government now to make sure the financial all this and start testing all of them. Otherwise, this is going to be very part of the
Amen. Thank you so much. On Facebook, Abdul Kudus Olamilekan saying good morning, sir. Ridwan Opeyemi Raji, good morning, sir. Dayo Antola. Matthew Olaleru saying good morning to you, Mr. Dayo, Mr. Tola. God would continue to see you through. Amen. I am always enjoying your program. Keep it up. Okay, thank you. Oluwaseun Kikiola Okanlawon, D&T, God bless you both. Amen. I pray these 2 weeks lockdown release Lagos, Ogun, and Abuja will work for good. Oluwaseun, aka Too Sure from Ogbomoso. Okay, Too Sure. I like you. All right. Akim Taufik saying good morning. Bolanle Areo saying good morning, guys. Personally, I do have problem with IMF loan. We need it, but our leaders enjoy it because we collect to share. We collect to share.
To share.
You do get that. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Morning, ma. Yes, you are on. Your name and location.
My name is Alaja Fatima from Oluyole.
Nice to have you, ma. Alaja.
Good morning, Dayo Antola.
Morning,
Good
ma.
morning, ma.
I want to congratulate Uncle Badu.
Okay. That's in order.
Amen. Amen. Right. I mean, thank you so much. In fact, that's so in order. Man, it deserves some. We should tag the security agents or whoever was involved in helping them get back those things. So happy for the family.
Hello, good morning. Good morning,
Morning,
sir.
sir.
Mr. Falodu. Good morning, sir.
It's not the foreign economy you are talking about, the interest rate. You should not forget that the money did not belong to, it doesn't belong to federal government. It is people's money. So it has to be negotiated. You cannot just reduce it because you already have a contract. This is what I'm going to be paying to you. But I will be happy if they can agree to what they actually have done. This interest rate, in order to push it the price of the small industry. And again, when we are talking of borrowing, there's nothing about the borrowing as long as the borrowing can pay back the debt. But it's not forget at the same time that are we not in this country when the commonwealth of this country was the are we not in this country then? Think of what we could have very cheapish. So they have to go and look at the economy, bring it, they ready to keep it. They be using it to build their own economy. At the same time, they need customers that you still coming back to them to come and borrow. So that is what will happen. They don't help this country. I say that the generation, become the generation, we not forced to this type of class. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Falodu. You know, just to corroborate what he just said, Bolale Are on Facebook said, we collect to share. That word is deep. That's what we do. We collect to share.
National cake. Hello, good morning.
Hello. Yeah, Mr. Sunday from the back.
Okay, good to hear from you, Mr.
So, on my former comment pertaining to Leah, so it should be a very shame for the federal government for them to be negotiating with bandit groups or maybe Boko Haram groups for the license on people. So I can even think stupidly that the federal government is lifting their backbone. So they are their backbone because it's not possible for just ordinary person to go out of the country, maybe to go to developed countries to go and buy a very heavy weapon into Nigeria without the signature of one, maybe higher of maybe commander-in-chief or anything. So how are they getting the weapons into Nigeria? Are they flying with air? Are they getting it into Nigeria with through sea or which routes are they taking the weapons to get the weapons? Because the weapon with the bandits is even more powerful, more than the militaries. So how are they getting the weapons? And many of the healers they are using, but where did they buy the healers? So who signed these healers into Nigeria? We should work towards all those things. Now, if it is possible for Nigeria to block the borders, or maybe to income or goods or any other things, so we should find it. It's not to be good for us to be finding it difficult to find where they are getting the weapons and who is their backbone that's supplying them the weapons. Now, Nigeria is now negotiating with bandits at how much we really collect to release our people. I can just see that they are using it as a business, because okay, what happened now? Pertaining to Chief of Army Staff, it has already served Nigeria maybe up to 36 or 37 years now. It should have been in its own. What is their plan for them not to go and maybe to choose another person to be ruling in the military zone? So what to help us? We should think vividly on that.
We really appreciate your call. Thank you so much. All right, phone line still open. 08055009850. 08055009850. Oh, this place is loaded. I apologize ahead of time. I would not be able to take all comments today. It's heavily loaded, but I'll try my best. We'll try.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hey, Grandma.
Good morning, ma.
Paula, I think you read my mind last night.
Okay.
I started sleeping for Amateku to start so quick. So kudos to the governor of Ekiti State. I hope the other governors will follow suit.
Right.
You are blessed in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you, ma. Have a beautiful week.
Thank you for the day.
All right. Yeah. Elegbede Man Mayowa. Well done, Ogadaya and Ogatola. Federal government already danced to our tune by force easing the lockdown. But we should all know that we're on our own. No, we can't eat our cake and still have it. Please, when is our palliatives coming in Oyo State? It's better late than never. May GSM succeed. Staying at home, Jejeli. I like you. Jejeli. All right. We'll go back to the phone lines.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
And thank you for your program.
Thank you so much. Please stay away from your radio set, or you turn down the volume, sir.
I'll still be away.
We can still hear that feedback, sir.
Okay,
It's better now.
Are
It's
you hearing me now?
better. Yes, sir.
Thank you for the effort you are making.
Thank you.
It is enlightening us what is happening. And you are giving people to say their view. I thank you very much for this.
Thank you, sir.
I'm okay from Obumoso.
Nice to have you. Thank you so much, sir. We have to let you go. That line was making so much noise. Please, if you really would want to talk, feel free to call back 08055009880. 08055009850.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
We enjoy your program.
Thank
you
sir.
so much, sir.
And I know we strength you more.
Amen.
I want to advise that our traditional medicine, they should try them for coronavirus. So many people have been coming that they have a solution traditionally. So let's try them and see what they can see, what they can do. So I pray God will help you and will strengthen you the more in Jesus' name.
Amen. All right, thank you so much. If you want to tweet at Oluyole FM, please use hashtag conversation. That would be easy to pick. I can see a lot of people tweeting at my personal Twitter handle. I can decide not to check it throughout the program. But I'll pick your tweet, no worry, for today.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Temitope from Nalate.
Okay,
Good morning, Reverend.
Yeah, thank you very much. The release of Yussuf is long overdue. We want to appeal to the federal government to try as much as possible to get this lady for their parents. This will be a credit to the government, and everybody in Nigeria will be happy to see the release of Yussuf. Please, the federal government should try and do something so that the people of Nigeria and the parents of Yussuf will be happy. Thank you very much. Everybody from Nalate.
All right, thank you so much, Reverend. We really appreciate you. On Twitter, at Yussuf AI, at Abu Spay, says, does that mean that those that have letters already is null and void? Talking about the bankers that decided not to sack anybody. Well, they didn't mention those who have collected letters before.
Quite about that.
So we hope something gets done about them.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, sir.
Good morning, sir.
If it's okay again, I'll call you back.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Please go
What I
ahead,
just
sir.
want to say is that I thank the federal government that has released Lagos, Ogun, and federal capital. Now that they have allowed people to go out. Now, since I see getting work, we cannot do anything without succeeding in prayer. I wanted to find a way to allow the religious people to meet together and pray.
Okay, sir.
Well, you have closed the churches and mosques. The church is not the building, the mosque is not the building. But the people, now they have not allowed people to meet together and pray. What is happening now in the world is need prayer. We have read it that which has happened before. And people pray. And God will release them. So I'm appealing to the federal government to find a way to allow people to meet and pray.
Okay. All right. Thank
I
you.
think this will help us.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much.
Because now, you say you have people not to go out. But this thing is increasing day and day. People sneak out. The people that are affected are those people who sneak into the country.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate that. Of course, we must understand why government is telling us not to gather. It's for our own good. If we are saying community transmission, it's when you gather together that this thing spreads. So we must try to understand with government. It's for our own good. Government does not gain anything from shutting down churches and mosques. But then, of course, thank you so much for choosing to speak to us. We really appreciate it. Agbomojo Wulewa on Facebook from Ogbomosho. Good morning, Mr. Dayo Antola. Thanks to federal government for easing the lockdown, but please don't let the foreigners come in for now. And we should all know that we are on our own. The way is plenty. That's why I dragged it. Please, let's be careful by staying safe. God bless us all. Rashid Olomi Adisa, good morning. Thank you. I'll come back to that later. The phone line is still open. 08055009850.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I don't know.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Honorable Salami Abiodun Usman.
Nice to have
I'm calling you from Oje.
Oh, nice.
On the issue of borrowing, that's nothing bad if government borrowed. But they need to use that money mostly for a capital project that will be beneficial to all the citizenry. But if they are borrowing, when I was born in this country, they are just borrowing. We hear it, borrow, and no impact. Our roads are not good. Our schools are not well functions. There are so many things. So we just hear borrow. Now look at it. IMF is giving us, if they are giving us loan, we are going to borrow from there. And they are still telling us what to do. Devalue your naira before I can borrow you the money. And if the conditions were not met, they are not going to borrow us. That means that money they are going to borrow now will be on our neck. Another generation will also come and be paying the debt they know nothing about. That is that on that. On the issue of this COVID-19, may God save us.
Amen.
I think everybody now believe that by the end of this month, there will be a solution to it. The WHO is talking. Our own local people the people are into trauma, whatever. All this the Abba people in Abba something.
Alternative.
They are also doing their own. So we hope that by the end of the month, this month, we should be able to have something to fight this COVID-19, so that everybody will be back on the street and be doing our normal life we normally do it. And on the issue of this New Year, this your guy, Prince Oluyole, I don't know when he become the spokesman for His Excellency.
I think he's only sharing his opinion.
I don't know when he becomes the spokesman. The spokesman should talk. New Year talk. And what the man said is true. Up till now, there's no palliative. No state in this Southwest have not given their people the palliative. No palliative from this Oyo State government. That means the government is only one function. I remember that thing, they are just sit down and look. So because they are not telling him what they are supposed to tell him. Thank you. May God bless you.
All right. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Well, just like you shared your own opinion, I think Prince Oluyole too expressed his own opinion. And you notice, you are allowed to say it, which is the right thing to do. Finally, from Twitter, I already said I will not take everything. So please pardon us this morning. Lord, we are helpless at Omoayo, that's his name. Lord, we are helpless. Please help us. That's the name. It says anyone who claims he has the cure for this virus should get himself infected first, and then test positive for the virus, then treat himself. That one will go hard small. At Omoayo, that will be hard though. Well, that's the much you can take on the show today. We will not be able to take any more. Omoayo, just wow.
What? If someone could actually do that, it will be a way to go. Yes, now. Someone could actually do
Please
that.
don't try it, though.
It's like I have
if you are listening somewhere, don't try it.
It's like I have a bulletproof charm. Okay, and let me put it on. Okay,
so we carry AK-47.
AK-47 and shoot me.
Okay, all right. Okay. Bolaji is already here in the studio. That's the much you can take on the conversation with Dayo Antola today. Let's engage Bolaji. What's going on? I heard there's a country that is planning. Is it Germany now? You want to start again? Well, training has started already.
Everyone. Training started last month in Germany. And guess what? When that trainer is on, the particular club had about 4 of their playing staff test positive for returning back to training. I mean, that kind of thing. So with that development, I'm sure they would have to delay, the resumption of the league. But everyone is talking about the league. I mean, you look at the financial impacts of this whole thing. But we keep saying it, just like FIFA keeps saying it. Our health is much more important than football at the moment. And let's take our time, to kick this virus off, and of course return. Yes, we understand that it's hitting deep into football. It's hitting deep into the economies of those big countries. I mean, likes of United Kingdom, likes of Germany, Italy, and Spain. It's hitting really hard. But let's not forget that our health, public health, is much more important.
Definitely. Any update on Premiership? Is Liverpool
Premier League? Well, the issue still remains the same. It's been agreed that the league must be concluded. I mean, that's the issue. It must be concluded at some point. Whether closed door or not, it has to be concluded. So Liverpool fans will have to wait.
Sorry, Reds. That's it. Today we hand you over to Bolu Aji for Sport Tidbits. See you tomorrow again in the conversation with Dayothola. Don't go anywhere.
maker.
Good morning, Ibadan. Good morning, Oyo State. Good morning, Nigeria. Sorry for starting a little bit schedule. We have to put one or two things in place so that you will enjoy us better on Oluyole 98.5 FM. My name is Buluwaji Ogumada. Of course, I'm all set to bring you up to speed with all the happenings making the rounds in the beautiful world of sports, bringing you the latest, the hottest, and the juiciest news. Yes, from the world of football to tennis, athletics, basketball, name it. I've got you covered this lovely morning. Yes, you know I would do it. We'll simply bring you all the news, original content from the movers and shakers of the world of sport. No wonder Sported Beat is the most listened to sports show even the Southwest. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here once again, and don't forget, last week we ended the Joseph Yobo series. I told you this morning that we will kickstart the Victor Osimhen series, and of course you'll be listening to episode 1 where Victor Osimhen will be talking to us about his childhood. But of course, don't forget, you can listen to us live anywhere you are on planet Earth. Just visit www.bcs.tv and click listen. On Facebook, we are there as well. Visit www.facebook.com/Oluyole 98.5 FM. And of course, on Twitter, we are at Oluyole FM. You listen to us live anywhere you are. Massive shout out to listeners on Agility FM 92.1 and on Okogun FM 96.3. Let's kickstart from the Nigerian Premier League. And this time around, we are going to Enugu, where Rangers International General Manager Prince Davidson Omi has disclosed that the family of late Ifeanyi George will be able to access his insurance benefits after the current ongoing global pandemic. It will be recalled that the Super Eagles and the former international of Aberford, Ifeanyi George, was killed in a ghastly motor accident while traveling to Lagos from Enugu on Sunday, the 27th of March. However, a few weeks after the sad incident, the Nigerian Professional Football League side made an announcement that the family of the player is entitled to multi-million naira compensation as part of the insurance policy of the club. He said that after the COVID-19 trouble, the family will be able to access the fund. The reputable administrator also maintained that the policy is not equated to the life of a player. Ifeanyi George made his international debut for Nigeria in 2017 against Benin Republic and earned 2 international caps. And of course, he was at age 26. Moving on this morning, General Secretary of the Nigerian Football Federation, Mohamed Sanusi, has assured that the glass house will be guided by FIFA's conditions on palliatives. FIFA has made available the sum of $500,000, that's about 180 million naira for each member association from the yearly operational fund to them as part of efforts to curb the coronavirus pandemic. Sanusi said FIFA had always hammered on financial accountability by members, adding that the NFF was ready to abide by the terms under the funds were made available to the NFF. It says that FIFA has rules and regulations governing how they want you to spend their money, and it's saying that they will spend the money just in the way that FIFA actually asked them to do. Moving on this morning, let's check out the update coming from Manchester United striker Odion Gallo, who has finally opened up on the main reason why he ended his international career after the 2019 African Cup of Nations. Igalo, remember, retired from the national team after ending as highest goal scorer at the 2019 African Cup of Nations. The 30-year-old mentioned that injuries injuries, and of course the distance from China to Nigeria made him decide that it's time to call it quits and allow the younger players to take it up from there. He said he got injured in the topless game against Tunisia, and of course from the first half of the encounter, and he also felt that the distance between China and Nigeria is just too wide, and of course he needed to allow the likes of Victor Osimhen, Alex Iwobi, and Samuel Chukwueze to take over the Gallo ranks among the 7th all-time highest goal scorers for Nigeria with 16 goals in 35 matches. Moving on, let's check out another former Nigerian international. This time around, John Obi Mikel, yes, the former Super Eagles captain, has donated food items to the needy in Just Plateau State. Mikel Obi donated bags of rice, beans, and noodles to the less privileged in the northern state. The 33-year-old took to social media to announce his donation. It is the second time that John Obi Mikel will be donating food items to the needy in Jos. All right, away from John Obi Mikel, away from ex-internationals, let's talk about our current international. This time, Victor Osimhen. Today, on episode 1 of the Victor Osimhen series, the Super Eagles striker shares with us his childhood and early days as a footballer, including the first team that he actually trained with. Let's listen to Victor Osimhen this lovely morning.
I'm from Edo State, Ubiaja to be precise. No, I was born in Lagos, Oluyole, a small community close to Ojota. But we're 7 in numbers. I'm the last born. We have 4 girls and 3 boys. I'm the last born. But, where I came from is a place that is not promised, So many dreams have died there, but I'm the kind of person it's hard for me to give up regardless of my situation. I think that's really helped me to have this sort of, I don't know what the situation about. I will never give up regardless. I went in the community where I was born, where I grew up. I went to Oluyole Primary School and with my best friend. But after he later left the primary school, but I went to Oregon Secondary School where I finished from JS1 to SS3. Then I dropped out after I was promoted to SS3. I dropped out to chase my dream, but it wasn't a really good decision, you understand, because my father actually wanted me to become a medical doctor, regardless of supporting me in football. Apparently, I wasn't really with Ultimate Strikers. There was a man in the community, Mr. Irikewe. He normally trained us when we were young to when we become of age. So they closed the primary school where we used to train. And so many players left. Some had to look for a job in the company, So many dreams died, like I said earlier. But me, my friend, and 3 other guys, 5, we went outside. Me, Sammy, Frank, Akim, Ismaila, and the rest. We were like 5. We went outside to train, We could go to Ikeja to see if they have a training team in the pitch. We beg them to train with them, or sometimes we go to Oregon to play, or sometimes we don't train, we just go to play some normal monkey post set, you understand? So I think as at then, the owner of Ultimate Strikers was a very close friend to my dad. So he knew that the pitch wasn't working anymore, like we were not training there. So he spoke to my dad to allow me come train with them. So that was how the whole situation with Ultimate Striker started. And I didn't play one official game for them, like in the J League. They were playing in the J League. I didn't play. I was with them, I think, for almost 2 months, I think.
And now you know that Victor Osimhen's father wanted him to become a doctor. And of course, Victor Osimhen was never an official player of Ultimate Strikers of Lagos. All right, this morning, that's the first episode of the Victor Osimhen series. Don't forget to join us tomorrow on episode 2 of the Victor Osimhen series, where we'll be talking to us about his trials with the under-17 national team, where he was told that he's too fragile, he's too small to play football. All right, away from that, let's move to other sport this morning. Yes, a Nigerian table tennis star, Olufunke Oshonaike, has said that she started playing table tennis on a septic tank slab, popularly known as a soakaway. When growing up in Lagos in the 80s, Oshonaike added that then the table tennis board was very scarce, so his brother came up with the idea of building a small living room table to enhance her training skills. Well, she said it while featuring on Fly Sport flagship program on Saturday. We call it Saturday Breakfast Sport. I had that interview with Funke Oshonaike, and she had this to say, and of course many more, most especially how she started playing table tennis. Let's listen to Funke Oshonaike.
I remember back then where I was living with my parents. We were living in all these people house in Lagos, and we have this soccer room. You know what soccer? Yeah. No. That was your first table tennis training board. So, I used to play table tennis with my brother on the soccer room. Before I knew what is happening, we moved to we built a small a table, like a living room table, and we were playing on top of it too. Then from that, there was somebody on the street of Akedus or in Shomolu then too. He has a table tennis board. So I started again from there, and it was fun, a very small girl, a 10-year, 11-year-old girl playing table tennis, and everybody be watching her. Wow, a girl playing table tennis. So to cut the long story short, that's how I started playing table tennis.
Now you know how Funke Oshonaike started playing table tennis, and she has now become the first African woman in any sport to qualify for seven Olympic Games, having featured for Nigeria in 1996, Atlanta 96, Sydney 2000, Athens 2004, Beijing 2008, London 2012, Rio 2016, and Tokyo 2020. From there, let's move straight to the world of basketball. As one of the senior members of the current D Tigers setup, Spain-based Stanley Okoye has set his target at a possible podium finish at next year's Olympic Games in Tokyo, Japan. The member of the 2015 team that won Nigeria's first ever AfroBasket title in Tunisia back in 2015 said with this current talent in the team being one of the best teams in the world as actually had. All right, so let's listen to Stanley this lovely morning talking about the current crop of players in the D Tigers team. We'll be back on Sports Tidbits.
For us, we've always talked about it. We want to medal. We want a medal, especially in the World Cup this past summer. I feel like we had that opportunity. If we would have got out the group stage, we would have had a pretty decent route to get to a medal. But we have to look forward, and the Olympics, that's our goal, is to medal. We want to stand on the podium. For AfroBasket, is always gold. They know we're the best in Africa, so we have to get gold every time. If we don't, then we're falling short. For us, we've always talked about it. We want to.
Well, that was the Tigers player talking about Stanley Okoye right there. Moving on to the world of boxing this morning, Kurba Pulev has hinted that he would be prepared to step aside. In fact, he's talking about the fact that he's ready to accept step-aside money if Anthony Joshua wants to skip his mandatory bout and lock-ons with Tyson Fury next. Instead, Joshua was originally due to face Kurba Pulev on the 20th of June, only for their clash at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to be postponed as a result of the global coronavirus crisis. It is not the first time the Bulgarian has hit a stumbling block in his bid to dethrone Anthony Joshua, with injury forcing him to pull out of their first proposed meeting back in 2017. And now reports suggest that the Brit is looking to leave Pulev in the cold once more to set up an undisputed heavyweight battle with Tyson Fury. Ever since the Gisper King snatched the WBC crown from Deontay Wilder in February, talk of a showdown with unified champion Joshua, which would crown a first undisputed king of the division in 2 decades, has been rife. Alright, yet Pulev is saying that he's ready to step aside for them, but of course he has to be paid to do that. Back to the world of football, Brighton chief executive Paul Barber has voiced opposition to the idea of finishing the Premier League season at a neutral ground. It is understood that Friday's meeting was agreed that some of the games might have to be played on neutral grounds, but some clubs are saying that no, most especially the ones fighting relegation, they said they would love to play their home games at home, and they won't accept playing away from home. Quite a lot of updates to dish out, but of course, time won't let us do more. But of course, to join me later today, 2 p.m. on BCS Television, I'll be breaking all the news down for you, as well as having veteran table tennis player in Nigeria, Segun Toriola, joining me from his base in France to share his story with us on the show. Well, my name is Bolu Ajogun. The show returns tomorrow. Big thanks to everyone who's a part of today's production. Bigger thanks to you for listening. Do have a lovely day and stay safe.